are small, but we are mighty. We're a small state with big ideas.
Big ideas indeed, but with very limited time there in the Roundhouse. In fact, with just 30 days, this whirlwind legislative session officially kicked off today in Santa Fe. This afternoon, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham laying out her top priorities in her States of the State address. Tessa Mentis and Matt Grubbs are bringing the Roundhouse to your house this evening. Good evening to both of you. Already plenty to talk about, and it's only day one.
Yeah, I mean, you would think this was a 60-day session with everything that was rolled out today,
right.
But no, we have half that amount of time to get a lot of stuff done. And when you look at the governor's wish list, that's going to be a pretty high task. So I chose today to sit in the main gallery where the audience is, kind of just see how people were reacting to things. You get a bird's eye view of the whole show, if you will. And show was the best word to describe it, because we had protesters, 3 waves of them. We had some lawmakers straight up turn their backs on the governor when she was talking about some issues, mostly her gun restriction ideas. And we haven't even touched on everything that has to get done in the next 29 days, Matt.
Yeah, you know, we've been talking about that $3.5 billion surplus. The more money you have, the longer that list gets, right? You know, the governor wants billions for public safety. She wants education, manufacturing, really, you name it. She walked in today with a very big ask. And while lawmakers are certain to give her some of it, there seems to be broad agreement, for example, that we need to spend more to get and keep doctors, nurses, healthcare workers, grow our own healthcare workers. She started out, though, with a huge ask, a strategic water supply. It's an idea to spend $500 million, $500 million, to dedicate to buy water from companies who can figure out how to turn salty water beneath New Mexico's soil into something we can use.
The message is clear, and we're hearing it again and again from companies worldwide. New Mexico is where businesses want to be. So I have a suggestion. Let's capitalize on this momentum. Around the globe, access to water is now the greatest challenge of the century. New Mexico can turn that into an opportunity.
And you heard a couple times there, around the globe, around the globe. This was her big rollout in Dubai. And as soon as she rolled that out, lawmakers started asking themselves and telling us, like, hey, how is this going to work? So we'll see if that gets anywhere close. It has bargaining chip kind of written all over it right now.
Totally. And we've seen her take multiple abroad trips just this past year. Many of us wondering, how is this all connected? And today we kind of got the blueprint of what her plan is. I mean, the State of the State is traditionally your chance to take some big swings. And she definitely took a few today. But we know that it's up to lawmakers to deliver on just some of the governor's agenda, but their priorities as well. And Griffin Rushton heard from both Democratic leaders in the House and the Senate today about what they want to get done. Griffin.
Yeah, you know, party leaders from both chambers are clear. They are primarily focused on passing a new state budget. I mean, this is a budget session after all, and Democrat leaders say that they are hoping to turn another historic budget surplus into more meaningful investments for New Mexicans. And of course, education is at the top of their list. House Democrat leaders say they want to increase funding for career technical education, apprenticeships, and junior college programs. They're also backing a proposed $100 million investment into New Mexico's early childhood education and care department. Democrats over in the Senate are expected to work on the governor's proposed literacy programs for young kids, and Senate Majority Leader Peter Wirth says lawmakers also need to address the Yazzie Martinez lawsuit, which ruled the state is not doing enough for at-risk students. And now it is worth noting that the proposed state budget from state lawmakers is allocating $52 million to address that lawsuit, but you know, Speaker of the House Javier Martinez did note this morning that these investments, they do take time to see a good return on investment, so to speak.
I'll start by saying that these are generational issues. And by putting in more dollars into a system today doesn't mean you're going to see results today. But it's a 20-year project until we see results from those investments.
Now, House Democrat leaders also said that they believe making these kind of investments in education will also help address the root causes of poverty and crime across the state. Matt and Tessa?
Griffin, thanks. Yeah, a lot of them taking that long view of passing certain kinds of legislation. One thing that we've seen before is an issue the governor brought up today, panhandling. She wants to ban the practice. It's something that she's brought up before. Like we said, she asked for a panhandling ban, in fact, before the last legislative session. This year, though, she's taking a different angle on it, hoping to make it a law that can survive a lawsuit that is almost guaranteed. She's going to do that by making it part of her public safety agenda, tying it, I should say, into pedestrian safety.
To protect the individuals in the community, I'm also proposing that we end unsafe practices related to panhandling on our streets. We have one of the highest pedestrian fatality rates in the entire country.
And you remember signs like this one around the city of Albuquerque reminding people of the ordinance prohibiting standing on what the city was calling narrow medians. Well, the law formed out of an anti-panhandling ordinance the city tried to pass more than 6 years ago. But in 2019, a federal judge ruled that the ordinance was unconstitutional and said it violated rights to free speech. The governor knows that, and she can expect to see similar opposition again with this proposal.
So that pitch didn't really get an overwhelming response from either political party in either chamber today, but Republicans in both the House and the Senate had a lot to say about what was in the governor's speech and what was not. Spencer Schott spoke to Republican leaders in both the state Senate and state House today about their concerns. Spencer.
Yeah, Tessa, the Republican leaders I talked to today, they pointed out that during the governor's State of the State address, she never once mentioned CYFD or reforming their department. And according to the Republican Party, overhauling this notoriously troubled department is more important to them than other governor initiatives like gun reform.
Children are getting killed under the care of CYFD. Why have we not looked into that? That's a meaningful change that we can all get behind. Why, year after year, have we failed to dismantle that organization and build something that works for our troubled youth?
The governor and lawmakers have acknowledged the problems at CYFD in the past and have agreed that there needs to be some reform. Last session, for example, there were 3 bipartisan bills to boost transparency and oversight at that department. However, none of them made it to the governor's desk. Instead, she signed an executive order in February to restructure the department, but Republicans say that just wasn't enough.
I think her silence is deafening, as she didn't mention CYFD one time. And that's one of the biggest issues plaguing New Mexico and our most vulnerable of children.
Now, it sounds like Republicans in both the House and the Senate chamber are really aligned with their goals going forward this session. I talked to leaders in both of them, and they really had the same talking points going forward. And even though they have a very different view and expectation from the governor, they did say there is some middle ground that they could find on certain issues that she's addressing, namely crime. Brian Lane mentioned that a lot of these crime bills and legislature that the governor is now proposing is actually Republican talking points that were introduced years ago but never made it through the session. So we'll see where they end up this year. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Spencer. Yeah, you know, with Republicans in the minority here, it's tricky business for them. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the best they can hope for is that their ideas get picked up by the Democrats and then they get invited to the press conference when the bill passes, sort of a thing.
And invited to the party, so to speak. So,
yeah.
We'll see. I mean, a lot, again, and this was just day one. Our coverage from the Roundhouse to your house will continue tomorrow, all 29 days of this session, of course, in our newscasts and at KOB.com. And we're going to be back here at 6:30 with much more on today's action from our Roundhouse. But for now, Trevor, we'll send it back to you in Albuquerque.
Okay, Matt and Tessa, thank you so much for your work this evening. We said there was a lot to talk about. We were not kidding. Thank you so much.